All right, so we're now in the part of the definitions, and we see that there's a conditional given, which means that we have to do some sort of if-then statement. So define, we know that our name of our function already has been determined from the title in the problem, which is line length. And we know that we're going to have to input two different numbers. They're going to have to input two ordered pairs that are going to give us the distance in between the two dots is what we're looking for, the line length. But when I say ordered pairs, I don't mean x, y values. I mean either two x's or two y's. So we'll go ahead and call those two values a and b for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and close my conditional right there. I'm going to close my parentheses. So then the conditional is opening up and I see a bracket here, which means I'm going to need to, if I want to write anything inside the bracket, I'm going to want to start a parentheses, and then I'm going to go ahead and say, how am I going to subtract this? So if A is bigger than B, then I would just subtract B from A, except for the other way around would be if B is bigger than A, then I'm going to have to subtract A from B. So the way I could write that is I could say if A is greater than B, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see. So if A is bigger than B, then we would want to, and then this is again in parentheses, I'm going to close it here. We would want to say I'm going to subtract B from A. So subtraction sign and then A and then B. So again, let's read this. It says if A is bigger than B, then subtract B from A. So A greater than B, so A minus B. And then the reverse of that, the reverse conditional of that would be if, again, I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. If A is less than B, then we would need to subtract, but we're going to be subtracting A from B, and so that means that B would come first. So I have open bracket, open parentheses, close parentheses, open, close, close, and then I have the same happening down here, but I want to remember that I opened up a parentheses here and then I opened it up here. So we're going to want to make sure that we have the correct amount, and I could be wrong. I think, let's see, 1 open, 2 open, 3 open, 1 open, 2 open, and then the close is here, 3. So that should be good. Let's go ahead and try and see what we have in our code. So looking here, I have my example line length 20, 10, and then 20 subtract 10. I got line length 10, 20, so 20 subtract 10. And then here we go, we have define the conditional of if A is greater than B, then we subtract B from A. And then we are going to need to add this extra line here. So we can say bracket if A is less than B, then we would need to subtract B from A. And I think that we don't even maybe need this code because we'll see it right here. So I think that might be redundant. We can go ahead and take that out. And that is the line length code there. And so we should be able to run this. And if we're running this in our game, just to make sure it works, we could come on over here. I'm going to close this for a second. And I'm going to come on over here and I'm going to say line length, just to see if this works, line length. And if I put in two numbers, let's say I put in 40 and 30, then I should be able to get 10. And then just to make sure the other way works, I'm going to go ahead and put in 30, 40. And if I could spell it correctly, you guys are probably laughing at me like, why don't you just spell it correctly the first time in a video? If I did that, then it should still work. And so there we go. We have our line length recipe.